Hello everybody, it's Tuesday, September 5th. Hope you had a great day if you're watching this now, or you'll just see it tomorrow. I'm going to try to start doing a daily video. I've decided that will be best to try to document my experience and how fast it changes. So today what we are starting is trying to go to an appointment for housing or resources that may help me at an organization where I have a caseworker. They texted me last night, so it's important for me to get there. There is a train delay that just happened. I've already left the station I started at this morning, and I'm on the way there. We were supposed to go to Colorado Station, where it was my home station, where when I had my apartment, I was going to do a piece there. I'm deciding to just kind of do that virtually, and I'm already in the mode of talking about home. When you become homeless, after a while, you can no longer predict the next 24 hours as you could when you had a home. For me, now, about 6 hours into the future is about as far as I can go and think with reasonable certainty, this is likely to happen, this can or can't get done. Here I wasn't able to make it to Colorado Station. It's only one stop down. I have got to make it to this appointment, and I've got to be there on time. So I am actually getting off the stop, not going to talk about home or what it feels like to be at the home station anymore. I'm going to get on a bicycle, and you'll see how quickly that changes. All right, I may have just showed you a picture of me with the bike at the train station. It's this bike, but we're switching it out for this scooter. We're on the way to that appointment for housing or whatever that may can help me with, maybe a clothing voucher. But this is how quickly things change. You see, this bicycle has a low battery. This scooter has got a good one. Okay, it is 12:05. I told that man 2 minutes ago I was almost here. By the train delay, it was going to be 15 to 20 minutes. I wasn't going to get here till 12:37. Now, what did I tell you about? I live about 4 times as fast as you do. 12:37 is, I can't call and reschedule. That is for something people with homes have a luxury of. A friend texted me last night in the evening. If I don't come here as soon as I can, he might say, well, he ain't serious about housing. As I was on the scooter and as I'm live editing this video, I did hurt my leg, and I then was talking about it. So I'm kind of chopping the video up. I'm live editing it. I'm trying to keep it short and under 20 minutes. So basically all I wanted to tell you is when you get in a bicycle wreck and you're homeless, that's a time when you just you're like, oh, I just want to go home. I want somebody to take care of me. But here's the thing, nobody will. Nobody does. You want to go home so bad. That's like one of the times when you just want to go home bad. And it just is the time when I couldn't. So what I'm going to focus on now is talking about, or focus of this video is, trying to get housing, today's opportunity, and then two dream home opportunities, or just 2 dream home ideas I have. But also on that scooter ride, to keep my mind off away from how much my leg hurts, I started thinking about something else I want to tell you, and how the most important place in the world, that is also a transferable title. And I thought about, well, where do I need to redesignate that to? It is in Putnam County, Florida. It is a place I haven't been to in at least 20 years. It's a place 3 doors down from my mother, and it's a place I'll probably never go back to. It's just a place, I don't think I'm kind of holding it as the most important place in the world for somebody who also can't go home because they're in federal prison for basically surviving something since 1991. And the other day I was wanting to talk to somebody about, do you know any realtors? Just, gay realtors, you just kind of deal with my bullshit. I was like, I want to go find a home that looks exactly like the one on Diana Drive, especially with that backyard. If I could just be in that backyard and that pool again, it would really help. I just want a home that's like that one, probably somewhere like Denver, California. That's kind of what I would like. So segueing right back into the exact present moment, this is just a few minutes later when the case manager, caseworker tells me all he has available is a possibility of a permanent bed at the Salvation Army. What I have heard about the Salvation Army is it is ridden with bed bugs, and there's actually some active crime going on over there. It's not very good. Word on the street is the only word I've heard, and it's very bad. It's kind of like below the homeless shelters I've already stayed at. So I'm going to go over there after I check my mail today. What ends up happening is I got a clothing voucher. I did ask for one, and I got $20. The last time I got $40. Not at Goodwill. This is at the Ark, which is very similar, and someone that helped me along the way, my friend Zach, he used to work there. So I'm still looking forward to going. It's just I've got 20, not 40. Also, what's important to kind of know here is he tells me I need to be there before 4 p.m. If I'm there before 4 p.m., there's a chance I could stay through the night There's not actually a permanent bed. Like there's not like a one they have like, number 77 is available, and I can just, they've got it marked down. They'll see me when I get there, as long as I get there for like, nighttime. It's not quite like that. It would make a lot of sense to me, but I have to be there before 4 p.m. to scope it out. There's questions about like, well, what if I don't spend the night there? If I spend the night there tonight, but I don't spend the night there tomorrow night, do I have the permanent bed for for the days after that? Answer on that was probably not, which means you don't really have an answer. You need to know, but you don't have an answer. So it's just kind of like you're thrown into, can you be there by 4? We didn't have any idea what housing options were available, and now it is, can you be there by 4? That's kind of what I'm dealing with. I believe that this is located on the north side of Denver, which means I'll have to use one of the trains where they absolutely always check tickets. I'll have to rely on like scooters or bikes or some other alternative means. Is there going to be Wi-Fi there? Will there be a power source? And if you're an older person, maybe you think that's just kind of like bullshit. This is how you get a job now. Here I am at the same organization. The caseworkers went to go get the voucher for $20 for the ARC so I can get some clothing. And I know you're seeing some fruit behind me, and I'm like, well, I've got some breakfast. And I know you might be thinking, well, at least he got some breakfast, but at least it ain't still good enough. I'm 36 years old. If it ain't breakfast in Belgium waffles in Belgium, it ain't good enough. With the man of my dreams, it ain't good enough. And it's just, I never lowered my standards on anything while being homeless. I can't stop this lady in the background from talking, but I'm trying to do the most I can, and I'm showing you I got a bite to eat. It's convenient. It was great that it was there. I'm happier that it was there than it wasn't, but this does not make me happy in life. You need to understand that's the difference. My mother went around the world. My father's been everywhere he wants to go. I have to live this way, and so I remember back last fall, I told somebody who knows the man of my dreams, I said, I told him his name. I was like, I want to have Belgian waffles in Belgium with him. And he was 50 years old, this other guy. He was like, that's the one, huh? And he kind of remembered that I hadn't lost sight of what I want. Right before leaving this place, I had to absolutely charge the phone. That's what the circle in the top right is for. I'm already at 57%, even though this is a technically new iPhone 12 mini. I need a new battery. It got wet. I can never replace the battery. Well, I have to go in for diagnostics, but it's looking less and less likely. I still don't have a case for the phone, but I have to have this phone to keep me going. I've got to have a way to communicate back with the people I'll probably be spending the night with when I don't end up staying at the Salvation Army. I know there's bed bugs and there's crime. It doesn't seem like it's going to be worthy of going over there, but I'm going to go over there anyway, just check it out. Also, I made a dental appointment while I was here. Now, the lady wanted to try to get me in at 3 p.m. and it was like almost trying to just tell the dentist to have me at 3. And I was like, I actually can't. I mean, it's nice that she was wanting to be urgent with me, but it's just like, well, it was an option today, but I can't do it right now. I've got to go kind of follow this housing track. And I will also just tell you, the caseworker was like, well, we're going to send an email to our housing specialist. I was like, well, I've been homeless for 363 days. How come this hasn't been done before? And it hasn't been done before because it hasn't been done before with them. It's waiting on people to get back from vacation. It's staff changes. It's everything that people with homes go through. Us people without homes, when that is what you're taking care of, we still have to survive through all those things. As I'm doing this voiceover, I'm already on another bus. I've already thrown away the apple. This moment is already gone. But what I'm thinking about, the reason I wanted to include it is, did you notice how the caseworker was like, can you be there by 4? And then the dental appointment lady, 2 seconds later, it was like, let's do it at 3. People, when you're homeless, it is great that they are urgent. That is very appreciated. But also, they're just trust that it's happened. People don't really respect your time. You're homeless. So what else could be, whatever it is that they're solving for you is the most important thing. It doesn't matter what it is. In this case, it was Salvation Army bed. It's not really that permanent. There's bed bugs and dental appointment. I really want, but I just couldn't do it today. I'm not going to go get my face all numbed up and sore and all that kind of stuff because I'm not feeling it today, and I got to do what's best for me. And I need to make sure I have a place to stay. I'm not going to do a dental appointment if I don't know exactly where I can curl up. I just feel some resemblance of home. But that's what I want to tell you. It's people don't really value you, who you're going to be in the future, because whatever it is that you're helping, you're homeless. So that's all that they really are able to, if they haven't been homeless before. If you've been homeless before, you get treated a little different. Salvation Army is right here. I went to the Salvation Army, which is right here. Right here is where people live, and right there is where other people live. This place does feel pretty rough, but the information I got, so there actually isn't any beds today. So the whole point of going to that housing appointment today, I just want to pause where I'm talking and just remind you or tell you about last night when I started doing this video. I was like, I see the opportunity to go to work on InstaWork app. There was something that came up, and I just thought, let's try to actually walk through what I would need to do in order to be successful at that. There's a whole video about that earlier on my timeline. But here I actually am in the present moment at the moment, right beside, I'm next to the hotel room of my buddies, where I stayed last night and probably will again tonight. And here I am just wanting to tell you about that. So I forego the job opportunity that was, in a way, if you watch the video, I think you might agree, almost impossible to do all the things I needed to do in order to be prepared for that, which is go and acquire the uniform for free. Now it's like I'm here right here at the washing drying facilities, but I don't have any money. So it's always kind of these kind of things all the time. Like now it'd be great to go ahead and get my clothes clean, but I just gotta wait. I just want you guys to know I have done this kind of stuff. It's not the first time. So I may have acted a little bit surprised, but I wasn't that much. But what else was I gonna do today? It could have led to something. One time there was a sober living voucher, and I went and I used that. And then we asked my mother for help, and she did what she did, which is not help. I just want to screech the brakes and show you a picture of me from October 2022. I'm entering my first month homeless, or second month really. And I want to explain what happened there at that sober living place. Some of you may remember because you were involved. Here's what happened. I got back from North Carolina because the hospital said, you have this eviction court hearing thing with your apartment. You need to go back to Denver. They bought me a bus ticket, and that was the first time I drove across this country with less than $10 in my pocket. Pretty much immediately got into the sober living place, the same organization that I've been dealing with earlier today, was involved with helping me get there. So I thought it might be something kind of like that. Now, when I got there to the sober living place, basically the first couple of nights were not what you would expect. It was just a lot of rigmarole, but I finally did get there. And when I got there, out of 20 people living in a 4-bedroom house, 18 of them had been to prison. 19 of them were straight. It was not a place where I felt there was rap playing all day long. I was close to the showers. It was too crowded. I didn't feel like I was really safe there. And I definitely didn't feel like I could be at all myself there, or there was no really resemblance of home. It was just kind of like a permanent, nicer homeless shelter, but I didn't trust the people there. All the while, I was also asking people to email my mother and say, can you help? Because I'm already in kind of a treatment facility and I'm a homeless. This is a great option. At the time, I was experiencing my memories of it now. And it was just kind of like I was in Aurora. What happened was I didn't know how long the voucher was for, and I thought I had just a few more days there. So we emailed my mother. Many people, over 20 people, emailed my mother and said, Nathan has done everything he can do to put himself in the best spot. Can you please be part of this and help him stay there and, just get better. My mother decided that it was a waste of time for people to be emailing her. And right after that, I just made up the decision. I'm going to leave this sober living house. This is not really benefiting me much enough to actually, I just wasn't making progress there. And so I decided to leave, and I actually to this day still have no regrets about leaving it. It just wasn't the place for me, which also influenced my decision to not go to rehab, which I've talked about in the last video. So there you go. I learned what is it like the lay of the land over here, and it looks like this. I really shouldn't be doing a video, but I'm just kind of daredeviling it. I'm not coming back here tonight. There's not any beds available. There's no reason to come back here tonight. What she told me was you can get a permanent bed. If you are here before noon, they show up at about 11 a.m. to sleep that night. I want to elaborate on this point here so you have kind of the full perspective. I just said if you want a bed, you have to be here at 11 a.m. for that night. So how do you get anything else kind of productive wise done? if you are working a job, Salvation Army, if you're going to be at work at 11, you don't really have the option to start staying at Salvation Army. Here I am checking the mail, and behind there, that blue door is where the self-storage place is for homeless people. Now, I actually did tell Phil, yesterday or whatever, I did pick up a pair of jeans and a few shirts there that I had already stored before I went to the hospital, because I just knew it would be better to store it there. But they had rules. They have recently changed them, made them a little easier. But it used to be, if you wanted to access your self-storage, it was like 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. If you weren't there during those times, it wasn't available. If you want to stay at the 48th bed shelter, or at least enter to be part of the lottery system at all, you've got to be at the Denver Rescue Mission at like 11:30, and then they'll tell you to come back usually like around 1:15, 1:45-ish. And then they told me one day to come back like at 3:45. Well, I was at the library, and like when you have all these parameters of only things can happen at these specific times, and like that Denver Rescue Mission 48th bed, which took me over a year to get, and I lost in like 3 or 4 days because I went back to work. You're there at the time that they tell you to be there, and then they tell you to come at another time. It's just all about control, and it's just kind of like you never really can play by all these rules and get done what you think you could get done. If you just had a home, this is not a big deal, but like if you're fighting for somewhere to stay at night, you have to be there at 11 a.m. that day of. It's just, you see where I'm going? You have to be here by noon. They don't run out of beds. You can keep your bed if you buy by 5 rules. One of those is like a 9:30 bed check. Over the other place is an 8:30 bed check. If you're working, you have to like get your supervisor to fill out a form or something, but you can work at 9:30, which is good because we're close to Pepsi. Okay, so here I am at 7-Eleven, and I was going to redeem my 7-Eleven points for 1 buffalo chicken roller. I went to check to see if they had any first, and they don't have any here. But all I was going to get was 1 buffalo chicken roller. That would be for lunch. That's all I can do for lunch. There is $0 available. The food stamp card did not come in today. It did cost me that bus ticket to come over here and check my mail. I was hoping, God help it, would be here so I could get my Pepsi. It was not available. I used to work right there, like right over there, and we just came from the Salvation Army, which is pretty much just beyond those tall buildings. Now I know you might be thinking kind of like, well, why didn't I push? I took a picture of the girl. I don't know if I put in the video, but she was not really at her desk. She was back there with her music and stuff. Look, why didn't I kind of question her more? My caseworker told me to be there, before 3, and I was. And why didn't I kind of push more on that? Because it wasn't safe. Because I'm the leader of this family, and I took enough of a look to know, as I was doing my video, that it wasn't safe. One other thing that I did today was I did go and check my mail over here on the other side, like in downtown section of Denver. And I never got my SNAP card. The second one I'm waiting after being robbed over the second time since I got out of the hospital, again, less than 30 days ago. What I did actually receive was a surprise, a dividends check from First Community Bank, or it says here bank in New York, Mellon, but it was First Community Bank. And it's something very new. I've never had one of these before. It's probably something my dad did to say that he's helping. Probably knew it wasn't going to be very much, but I did get like $5.70 some cents. And I was like, you know what? I want something Old Millennium to work today. I want to just go cash this check. I want to get Pepsi and a pack of Swisher Sweets. So I'll get my Pepsi even if I didn't get a SNAP card. And it didn't really work out that way because I don't cash checks very much. They charged me $4.50 on a $5.70 cent check, and so I was pretty pissed. I ended up just kind of getting a Pepsi and not getting a Swisher Sweets, and then here's me at the end of the day kind of wrapping up, talking about what I did accomplish. What I did accomplish was finding out that the Salvation bed, could I be there before 4? I was there before 4. There weren't any beds anyway, even though he said there would be. There just ain't. I'm going to have to now go back kind of empty-handed. I wanted to go back with a bag full of food bank food. I've already checked. There ain't no way I can get over there and get my bag of food before 5. I just can't do it. I would like to. I would really like to do it. I get there at 5:03. That's as early as I can get. They'll be closed. They'll be gone home for the day. So I'm going to go back where my buddies are at the hotel. Hopefully they'll understand. It's just, it didn't work out. But I got my jeans, that need laundered. Shirts too, just 2 of them. One was set up for success to go back to the food bank, back there where I was, right back where I was. And then I had that art card already, or that $20 voucher to to use there. There's a place I'd probably go and probably get some clothes, be set up for success to go to work maybe the next day. But that's all that can happen really tomorrow. If it doesn't work out with my buddies, I'll just be back here in about 2 hours, and I'll be just in time for the homeless shelter that I have stayed at before. And it won't be pleasant. I won't get much sleep. It'll be just like sleeping when I open, trying to not get raped. Last thing of the day, that right there, that building is my favorite place to live in Denver because it overlooks Union Station and everything. That would be, if I could live anywhere, it'd be right there because you can just see everything. It's the people. It's the people right here at Union Station that you can see. Because a key element of this video and my life right now is how quickly things change. I said if I could go back to the homeless shelter, maybe if I can't stay with my buddies. I actually can't now because the train had another delay and we were stuck there for like 25 minutes. I can't get back to the homeless shelter in time. It has to work over here at the buddies. There's no other option, but I did go ahead and get the phone charged up no matter what happens. And the last shot I'm going to leave you with is going to be what you'd see if you lived on the other side of if you lived in my dream home there over there. This is the view you'd have. And this is me, October of 2022.